All right, it's me, Turbo Selbor, with part two of how to convert to Linux for gaming. So in the first part, we talked about how to actually make a live USB, and in this part, I'm going to show you how to actually boot into Linux using that live USB. So first of all, is I'm in the live environment right now, and I'm going to show you how to set up your computer to do it. This will work with any Windows compatible computer. It may work with your Mac. I don't know. I don't really care, and then it will also work with any Linux computer if you want to just try a different distro. But if you already using Linux, you watching this, what the fuck? Like, this is way below you. All right, so first of all, any computer, all you got to do is you got to restart. All right, so we're going to go ahead and restart the computer, and we're going to go to BIOS, which stands for bisexual, intersex, oligosexual, and straights. Oh, wait, no. Oh, sorry. It stands for basic input output system. So this is the firmware on your motherboard that like runs the motherboard. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to restart. All right. I'm recording this on a separate computer because it's very hard to record while constantly resetting. I'm also going to be smacking that F12 key up there for boot options, okay? Because we got to do some boot optioning. So I'm doing this on a Dell Optiplex 790, which is about 15 years old. Now, I've done a lot of upgrades. It's got 32 gigs of RAM. And it's got an NVMe in it, and this is the latest version of BIOS and all that. So I may someday go over how to flash a BIOS, but God, oof, you don't want to do that. So first of all, you're going to use F12, the delete key, F10, or I've even seen F2. Depends on your motherboard manufacturer. I can't help you there, but you got to figure out how to get, when it's like startup menu options, go to BIOS menu. We're going to go to BIOS setup. Every manufacturer does it different. Dell's sucks. So this is probably the worst case scenario here. But what we want to go is look at the boot sequence. And here's the deal, right? I've set this up all correctly. But if you got a legacy system, right, and you don't use UEFI, real easy. You just find the USB storage device right there, which is your live CD. Put that up to the top, okay? That's what you're going to want to do. Now, if you're going to use UEFI, good luck to you. That's the only one I got. So UEFI is the newer version. Most computers built after 2015 are going to use UEFI instead. Good news is all the Linux distros that do live CDs are built for UEFI, so no worries there. You can change the boot list option. This one's weird because it separates them. Most better motherboards are, you can just be like, I don't know, just boot to USB and it'll figure it out. All right. The only other thing that I'm worried about with this computer is we're going to apply the changes, okay? And then we can just exit. If it doesn't have an apply or it doesn't have this graphical interface, you're going to have to exit and restart the saving changes, but that's all you got to do. You just got to change that boot order, all right? And if you're still not sure it's going to work, the other option, and every modern motherboard lets you do this, is you can just pick the device you're going to boot, which the nice thing about this Dell, I'll give it that, is when I go to it gives me the option every time I hit F12. So I'm just going to hit F12 here. I'm going to change my one-time boot options. That's all you got to do, is you got to reset go to BIOS and like, I want to boot from a different device. That's all you got to do. If you got a Windows computer, there's probably going to be some other options. This one, right, we see some legacy boot options here, but because this is a modern system, it uses UEFI, we have to use the INT13 USB. But if you were, say, on a standard computer and you have different boot options, you'll probably have a hard drive boot option, which is your original hard drive. Your USB, this will not work if you use legacy boot because it's built for UEFI. You got your onboard NIC, which is, quite frankly, I hate it. This is a Dell thing because I got this from a corporation. So we're not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to go to boot here. Now, what it's going to do is going to do some random shit, and then you'll get a couple options. Now, Ubuntu, very similar to this setup. All of the modern live disks pretty much use this. So you have a couple options. You troubleshoot, don't need it until there's a problem. Test this media and start for Fedora workstation. When I built this on my computer, it tested it. So usually it works just fine. It does like a checksum, but you can always just check it. Or we can just start. I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. So what this will do is it's going to go to the USB and it's going to say, hey, the boot sector said to go here, and then it will just set up and dump a version of Fedora into memory. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Now you notice the screen is black, and the reason for that is complex, but basically it's just loading in the background. See, there you go. And it's funny because I got a direct video feed from the video card, and I have a monitor, and the video feed from the video card is faster than the monitor. Granted, I bought the monitor at like a garage sale, so right now it's just booting up. There is a verbose mode if you're like crazy, and I don't care about that because it's gonna work. I already tested it, so I know it's gonna work. So this Dell Optiplex should just boot straight into the environment. So just remember, all you gotta do to boot into Linux, right, is you just gotta go to the BIOS and say I want to boot up USB first. That's all you gotta do. And see, there we go. Now we're in the live environment. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? So in the next video, I'm gonna go over how to actually do this shit and install it. But we'll do that in a minute.